Today I'd like to share with you how I made this face shield from basic product from Costco's, which happens to be a spinach box. This is a spinach box, okay? Now, when you go to the store to buy the box, what's singly most important is the depth of the box, okay? So we want to get a box that's very, very deep. You do not want a shallow box depth-wise here. You want to get minimum of 4 to 5 inches on the side profile. So you want to eliminate this. Even though the top profiles look the same, the side profile is what's most important. So we'll eliminate this because it is this part that's also very, very important. We want to get this close to back to the ear as possible. So once we have this box, the first step is going to be removing the label that's on the back, okay? This is very, very critical. This is the really most important thing to do, and you have to be very careful to not scratch it. Because if you scratch it, obviously you've ruined the whole process. So it's very simple to do. You take a hair dryer and you heat one of the corners up. And you pull it away. It may take a minute before it starts to You do not want to have it on high heat, have it on medium heat. So as you can see, it starts to come out, okay? And you want to take this off. Okay. So now there may be some excessive stuff that did not come off. I just used some Goo Gone, spray it on, let it sit for a minute or two, go back over the whole area to make sure you got all the glue off. Take a paper towel, rub this down, take your fingernail, remove what's there, the excess, with your fingernail. The glue is still going to be there in some cases, and the Goo Gone will help it. This is the single most important part, because without this, you're going to scratch it, and you do not want to scratch it, okay? So as you can see, there are no scratches in this. It'll be very, very good to use. Now, you just take the unit apart, discard that. Now we have the beginning stages of our shield. The next step is going to be that of attaching the hat to the plastic tray. But before we do that, these are the simple tools that I used. 1, a screwdriver. 2, I did go up to Ace Hardware and buy these fender washers, okay, that are very, very wide, and that's important because what's on the top where the plastic is, you don't want to tear the plastic, so this should help protect the plastic so you get a lot of useful life out of it. Simple wrench, a magic marker, a pair of scissors, a drill with a drill bit. The screws here happen to be 3/8 of an inch, 3/16, but you can use any size that you want. But again, the single most important part is using these fender washers in my mind. Later on we'll explain a little about the Clorox, and we'll talk a little bit about the mask that will accompany it. These are the things that you'll need to attach the hat to the plastic box. So now we're ready to attach the hat to the plastic box. So what we need to do, and the single most important part here, is you must make sure that the brim of the hat is touching the back of the box. Once you determine that, okay, you then want to either get a 2x4, or I happen to use a 2x8. And now I'm going to take the hat in the box, press them down real hard, making sure the bill is at the end. And I'm going to take a magic marker and mark where I want the drill holes to be. Now that I've accomplished that, I will take my drill Once I've accomplished that, I now will put the hat back on, make sure the bill is all the way touching again, make sure it's lined up and it's square in there. Now take the magic marker, go back over the hat, making sure. Okay, now that I've done that, I take the hat, then I can also make sure now I'm ready to attach the hat. So now I take the screw along with the washer, and put it into the first hole. Turn it upside down, put the washer on the tear, put my nut on, tighten it down to a bit. Now take my other washer and screw, put them on. Now put it into the second hole. Put the screw in the nut. Tighten it down. If you want, you can use the wrench, but you can also just tighten it with the screwdriver. And then later on you can. So our next step is now to cut so the plastic box so it fits to the hat. So we just take our magic marker, and cut. Now we just take our scissors and now we have the hat to be ready to be worn. See how the side profile is good? The last step is going to be now to cut the bottom. My suggestion is to cut as little off as possible, and as time goes on, cut it to the need you need. So that is, you'll find when you bend your head down that the bottom might hit your chest. If that happens, then cut it back a little bit. But do not just cut it one big sweep. Cut it starting very small at the bottom and figure out what you need, okay? Now, let's do that next, okay? So we'll take the hat off, and basically we're just going to cut So now you have an open bottom, okay? Now, if you want, you can even take some Scotch tape and just tape this if you want for extra protection, just so it doesn't crack or tear. And when we're done with the whole thing, you can wash it or clean it with the Clorox or any other sanitizer, okay? And when you go out into public, you can clean it off when you come back home. You'll also be able to wear a mask, okay? And you should be able to use this. Please do one thing. Provide a lot of common sense when you do this. This is not FDA approved. This is something I came up with. But it's very practical. It's very helpful. And you want to be able to use, again, the common sense and clean it, use it, and make more for your friends and family. Please, all be safe, and we'll all get through this together. Thank you for your time. Bye now.